are set to bring to you analysis of papers making the headline on today's dailies. As usual, Livette will kick start with what we have for you.
Yeah, let's take a look at our dailies this morning. We'll begin with the Punch newspaper. And the head story on the Punch says, government extends search for fleeing 4,000 inmates to IDP camps. Allow court decide Bello's fate. Media office tells EFCC. Okay, marketers blame supply hitches as fuel scarcity spreads. You can't destabilize my government, Benue governor warns ex-governors. Noise pollution, Lagos seals 5 churches and 19 hotels over noise pollution. Court adjourns case seeking to sack 27 pro-Wike lawyers. Okay, so NSCDC arrests 8 fake Anambra private guards, recovers weapons. Monarch, 42 others acquitted over Rivers DPO's murder. 3 crushed to death in Ondo crash. Police arrest 8 suspected kidnappers and rescues 4 victims. EFCC arrests 34 suspected currency speculators in Abuja. And that's all on the Punch newspaper this morning. The next is the Vanguard.
Yes, the Vanguard, the story making the major headline that says bank verification number. Banks close 2 million accounts over BVN, NIN, and others. Banks close 2 million accounts over BVN, NIN, and others. And there's this one that says Mayday. Governors promote. Labour gives federal government 31 May as deadline on minimum wage. We have this one that says we have 1.5 billion liters of petrol to last 30 days, according to reps. We have 1.5 billion liters of petrol to last 30 days, okay? Now, NASIMA President Oye to speak at Vanguard Economic Summit, you know, the ongoing economic summit. Yeah, NASIMA President Oye to speak at that summit. And there's this one that says, banditry, why I abandoned my 10,000 naira, my 10,000 hectares Benin Gwari farm. This is from Ba Farwa, why he abandoned his 10,000 hectares Benin Gwari farm. And then this one that says, multi-choice hikes DSTV, GoTV subscriptions despite court order. Multi-choice hikes DSTV, GoTV subscription despite court order. Now there's this one, still on Mayday. Clearing and forwarding agencies, workers task employers to prioritize talent. Okay, we move to the next paper.
All right, and the next paper for review is the leadership paper, Mayday amid hardship. Labour makes fresh demands for workers' welfare. Kwara governor presents 12 jeeps to judges. Culture minister applauds Nigerian creatives on Workers' Day. Culture minister applauds Nigerian creatives on Workers' Day. Abdul Razak assures workers on new minimum wage. FCTA to backlist defaulting street lights contractors. They actually need to be put in that blacklist, because you go on the road and you see some street lights not working and they've been paid for. Just in, federal government makes U-turn, says new minimum wage to take effect from May 1, 2024. No amount of intimidation will challenge our focus on governance, says Fubara. All right, and that's all we'll take on the Nation newspaper. The next paper for review, let's take this day.
Right, on this day newspaper, we have this one that says NUPRC moves to speed up approvals for divesting IOC's raise oil production by 700,000 BPD. Okay, and this one says that Nigeria makes Forbes list of America's top 200 CPAs. Nigeria makes Forbes list. Okay, Nigerian makes Forbes list of America's top 200 CPAs. Nigeria's oil output slumps again. The prices OPEC's crude production in April. Nigeria's oil output slumps again, and the prices OPEC's crude production in April. The other story says Afrexim Bank urges African countries to strengthen reserves with gold. Afrexim Bank urges African countries to strengthen reserves with gold. Oil marketers threaten nationwide strike over 200 billion naira petrol bridging debt. Oil marketers threaten nationwide strike over 200 billion naira petrol bridging debt. Now there's this one from sports. It says NFF appoints Finidi George as head coach of Super Eagles. NFF appoints Finidi George as head coach of Super Eagles. Tinubu at World Economic Summit says subsidy removal, forex reform saved Nigeria from bankruptcy. Tinubu says subsidy removal, forex reform saved Nigeria from bankruptcy. Are we not bankrupt already? Okay, federal government pays Julius Berger 200 billion naira augmentation fee for Bodo Boni Road. Federal government pays Julius Berger 200 billion naira augmentation fee for Bodo Boni Road.
All right, so that's all on this day paper. Let's take a look at the Guardian newspaper this morning. Let's see what the Guardian has for us. Okay, pregnant children. Okay, pregnant women, children, others injured in Ajegunle gas. Labour demands inflation, proof pay, frequent wage review salary. Telco loses irregular levy remittance, threaten NCC's 549 billion naira target. And on education, only 37% schools in 10 states have yearly warning systems. Only 37% schools in 10 states have early warning systems. Workers wary as FG assures on May 1 date for new minimum wage. And on health, concerns over health implications of prolonged heat wave. Death toll from South China Road collapse rises to 36. NHRC Obi seek better deal for workers. Obi inciting Igbo against FG, Coastal Highway, Umahi alleges. And on gully erosion, Abia Community Regional Water Scheme in. Okay, so that's all on the Guardian newspaper.
Okay, I think those are the papers we are taking our stories from. This beautiful Thursday morning ride edition, and we will just look at 2 or 3 of the stories, and we'll go to our guest Kana. So we'll be looking at there's this one that says first subsidy saved Nigeria from bankruptcy.
How?
So how? I want to ask you, are we not already bankrupt?
I'm telling you.
I mean, it's like he's making it seem as if, please get out that story if you can get it. Let's see the body of the story. He's making it seem as if, I mean, all is well with Nigeria as far as the economy is concerned, as far as the situation or the condition of the Naira is concerned, as far as the valuelessness of the Naira is concerned, you know. So I wonder what else would have been the state of the country if it's not bankruptcy. already. I don't know if you have that story. Let us read it. Okay. If you are yet to.
We're yet to get it.
Okay. He actually said that the first subsidy saved Nigeria from bankruptcy. Perhaps though, maybe to him, if he hadn't brought up the issue of the first subsidy removal, Nigeria's situation would have been worse than what it is already.
Well, maybe it's from his own perspective that he would say that, but Nigerians, I know most Nigerians will not really agree with that statement. They will not agree with him on that statement because the moment fuel subsidy was removed, the hardship, in fact,
it's harder than it was already.
Yes. So for him to make such a statement, I really do not know where he's getting that fact from. But the common man is not finding it funny at all that the fuel subsidy increased hardship in Nigeria, and the people are not happy about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so something needs to be done about it. And also the palliatives that are being put in place, they're actually not sufficing. They're not working for everybody. Because
how
they say some
sustainable
persons
are they? Are they sustaining for the families? The few families is getting to? That's another question.
That's another question. Yes. So we actually need to look into that and see how the sovereignty, in fact, the federal government needs to look into that to see how they can ameliorate the sufferings of people, because that palliative definitely is not working. It's not getting to most people.
Just like some persons.
Vulnerable.
Okay.
That it's supposed to be.
Apologies for that short break. It was due to power surge. All right, we quickly look at the next story, which said EFCC, or who is arresting churches and hotels over noise pollution. You know, I'm sure Lilibet would like that particular story because she doesn't love noise. Perhaps she's one person who has churches or hotels around her. She may even want to report them to the appropriate authority. Please come and check out this hotel or come and check out this church. I mean, the noise around is too much. So what do you have to say about that?
No, seriously, yes, I do not like noise. I don't like noise at all. But like I said, if in Western climes, I don't know why I always want to attribute these stuffs I say to Western clients. I think they actually think about their neighbors. But here we don't think about people. We just do things because it pleases us. You don't care if it pleases other person. How can you pollute the area or the environment with noise? It's bad. I cannot sleep when there is noise around me. I cannot, no matter the time.
So you are saying it's a welcome development.
It's a welcome development if you arrest. But for churches, I would say, let's say take Sunday. Yeah, let's take Sunday for example. People know that yes, definitely churches will take place. People will worship. So I think they should exempt churches.
Definitely.
Now, and churches most times they don't do their
every time,
every day, every time.
Like
but hotels,
you
hotels
see
every day
coming out every now and then.
Yes.
You know?
I think they should have a noise. There's something. Is it noise? Is it proof or noise proof? Something like that.
I think the noise proof we actually have is the one that prevents noise from coming
in clubs. In coming out.
Okay, coming out.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you go to some clubhouses, some big hotels. kiosk, the club area, that's what they have. No matter the slamming inside the club there, it doesn't go out.
To disturb people around.
Yes, to disturb people. I think that's what people should do. They should have an indoor thing. But you know now, some sit-outs will definitely want to have live band. And live band, you can't do it in an enclosed place. It has to be outside for you to feel the vibe. So it's a partially welcome development, though.
I know you
people
would
need
say
to
that.
unwind after the stress.
All right, that's how far we can go on paper review this morning now. Our guests around, and of course, we take it our next outing any moment from now. Please go away. so much for staying tuned. It's still Thursday morning ride on Delta Television, and I did tell you that we have an interesting topic to enlighten you on, and it has to do with hand washing. Hand washing day is celebrated every 5th of May, and of course, today is second, so about 3 days from today, we'll be observing the hand wash day. And we have two guests who will be talking to us about issues concerning hand washing. Have Dr. Idotain Eyi, and of course Dr. Intense Omwete. You both welcome to our program. Dr. Intense is from WHO, World Health Organization, while Dr. Onete is from the Delta State Primary Health Care
Ministry of Health.
Sorry, Ministry
Ministry
of
of
Health.
Health.
Yes, you're welcome to us. Yes, thank you
You're
very much for honoring our invitation. Now, World Health Hand Wash Day. Tell us about how it all started, and of course the theme for this year's celebration. I'm throwing that to the WHO representative, Dr. Intense.
Okay, thank you very much. So if we want to look at how hand washing started, I think we'll have to go back to the Bible to see how God commanded the children of Israel through Moses to wash their hands, to do this. Just anytime they want to pray, God will say they'll be instructed to keep themselves clean. Good. So hand washing dated back in the days.
Okay.
And we have come to see that with hand washing, a lot of infections, a lot of disease have been prevented or reduced to the barest minimum. So worldwide, it is celebrated to mark that impact that it has made in reducing and preventing disease. So this year's theme is promoting knowledge and capacity building of health workers through innovative and impactful training and education on infection prevention and control, including hand hygiene, which is the practice of hand washing. So basically, IPC program has several components, and training health workers on IPC is one of those components. And this has been the weakest part of the program, being that so many health workers do not take into cognizance the 5 moments of hand washing, what to do, when to wash, when to do a lot of things. So the theme this year is focused on training and education of health workers on hand washing, on hand hygiene, for us to be able to take action and curtail the healthcare facility setting infections that occur while our clients coming for treatments.
Sorry, you kept saying IPC. So
Oh, sorry, that's infection prevention and control.
okay,
Yes.
fine.
Infection Prevention and Control, IPC.
Okay.
All right, so we want to know the importance now of washing hands, because some persons think that when they clean their hands with serviette or tissue paper or what's this this wet hand wash wipes, yes, that they are good to go. Yeah. So why is it important to wash with water and soap, Dr.
Okay.
Omote?
Yes, thank you very much. There's this lot of misconception around hand washing. People feel once you just put your hands under water, your hand is wet. It means you have washed your hands, and that's not the right thing, because you notice that our hands are the greatest transmitters of microorganisms. Our hands, as we are sitting here, if we could see,
What's happening?
I'm
I
telling
don't
you,
think
we
I
would
wanna
run
see.
out. I you can imagine the things on our hands. So because we can't see them, we feel they are clean. And when we wash our hands, we miss a lot of important spots on our hands, and we carry a lot of microorganisms. And these microorganisms are the ones that cause diseases. And so most of the diseases that bring us to the hospital are because of what we have carried on our hands. So it's so important that we wash our hands and wash our hands properly, so that we can remove all these microorganisms that are hidden. Because most of the time when we wash our hands, we miss a lot of spots. And evidence has shown that number one spot that we miss is our thumb. Because we just do like this and we feel we are gone. And we miss the back of our hands. In between
The
our
fingers.
fingers, we miss it. So we just do this and go. Meanwhile, the microorganisms here are smiling and happy and like, yeah, I'm having a good time. And it's really surprising because at the beginning of the day, if, for example, you had just 5 microorganisms on your hand, by the end of that day, if you've not washed your hand, that has become billions. So you can imagine what you're carrying back to your house if you have not appropriately washed your hands at the different moments you're supposed to. When you get into work, you wash your hands. While you're at work, before you eat, you wash your hand. After you use the convenience, when you come out, you wash your hand. After you greet your colleagues in the office,
After the
you wash.
handshakes.
Yes, you have to wash your hands. And we know that it can be quite inconvenient in having to run to the sink. So everybody should have a hand sanitizer with you in your bag. So you just apply it. So we are hoping
Whether
that-
you wash with water or not,
Exactly.
your hand sanitizer is good
hand
to go.
sanitizer is good to
What
go.
about
You
a
can-
hand wipe?
So that hand wipe actually doesn't,
Does it
it's
contain-
mild, it doesn't
okay.
contain antibacterial, antiviral agents that can help you kill the microorganisms on your hands. Some of them are very mild.
All the wipes?
Well, most of the ones that are available, because it's to wipe our, well, I say baby's bum and all that. So most of
Well,
them are
they're
just
not actually manufactured
moisturizer.
for that
No,
purpose.
and it's not
Okay.
even for that purpose.
Okay.
Yes. So they don't even have the correct ingredients at the right concentration that's supposed to kill the microorganisms on our hands.
Yeah, you know
So-
what? Let me break you there, please.
Yes,
you know why I'm
please.
asking one particular about these wipes? Because I got one particular wipes and they told me it has this micro.
Okay.
It has this is it
Maybe
antibacterial?
antibacterial, antiviral.
That
Okay,
means
yes,
they
then
are
that means-
manufactured to
It's
specification.
soapy. It's soapy kind of. When you use
Okay.
it, you see some like soapy stuff
Okay,
on
then
your
that's
hands.
then
There are
that's,
exceptions
that's,
then.
That's
That
fine.
means there are
Yes,
exceptions,
exactly.
yeah.
Because I know
Okay.
that during that period of COVID pandemic, a lot of companies came up and produced wipes specifically to
For
help
that
to
purpose.
kill microorganisms on your hands and on surfaces. Yes. So but if that you have that, then that's a surprise. So far you use it as it's supposed to. So we're hoping that we can demonstrate that how we can wash hands appropriately
Okay.
during this.
So please let me just add to what she has said,
Yeah.
because when we talk about using hand sanitizer in place of soap and water, and in the first place, when we are talking about soap and water, we are talking about running water,
Running
washing your
water.
hands under running water.
Not the one in the
No,
bowl.
no.
Suppose one doesn't have tap at home, so it's better to scoop the water and then run it while the other is washing the hands. She will demonstrate. And
Continue.
okay, and some may feel that when we say you can use alcohol, hand sanitizer, that we mean for all sorts of dirt.
Okay.
So imagine somebody going to the farm and then returning from farm with enough dirt on their hands,
And you're using
and
white.
then you use
why?
wipe
Because
or
it
use
is
hand
sanitizer.
sanitizer. You know it does not do
Yeah, exactly.
anything.
Yeah, okay.
So when we say use hand sanitizer, it's like, as we say, as I sit here, my hands are already dirty. If you look under the microscope, I have a
Because
lot
you are
of
pleased
dirt,
to
a lot
know.
of germs
I
on
tell
my
people
hands. So,
that and they'll be like, it doesn't matter, we're Africans
No.
and all that, yeah.
so like this, we can use hand sanitizer, but when it becomes obviously dirty, then hand sanitizer does not do
Do the
much.
work.
So we need to wash our hands with soap under running water.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I know you have made mention of maybe when you use the convenience, always wash your hand. When you want to eat, wash your hands properly. Having maybe had a handshake with people, wash your hands. But there's this culture, this thing we have. Even you want to say in Western climate, in fact, almost everybody is guilty of this. Maybe now you have a piece of bread or a piece of cake or groundnut with you. I'll stretch my hand. Maybe I want to collect from you. I don't wash my hands. Most people don't. You just grab it and go. But if at that point in time, the person were to eat ever, or any swallow, the person must wash their hand. So why do we have that culture of washing our hands? We are conscious that we should wash our hands when we want to eat swallow or something like that. But when we want to collect snacks with our bare hands, we don't wash our hands. Is it because it's not convenient? What do we do?
No, so I think it's actually one of the issues we have with hand washing. People tend to feel, at this particular point in time, it's not important, it's not necessary. But it's part of why we are creating awareness. It's very important, especially for that particular item you want to put into your mouth. It's very important because a mouth can be the source whereby you can get microorganisms and can cause disease. So we need to be very mindful. You can tell the person, please keep my own, I'm coming. Let me go and wash my hands and come. The person will be well, magnanimous enough to keep your own parts, So part of the obstacles, people forget, people feel, no, this one, they look at their hand, it looks clean, in quotes, just give me, and those habits are what we are hoping that we can discourage. Always wash your hands. You will save yourself a lot of issues.
Okay. Now, you talked about running water. And let's say you go to the tap and you turn the tap on, you put your hands on there, you wash, and then you lock the tap. How do we go about that with same hand? And the tap is not neat. You've infected the tap already when you opened to wash. So how do we go about that?
Okay, so there's this other sensor, taps with sensor, that by the time you put your hands, it starts.
But those are not always
So
available.
now let's assume in a normal, in our own setting that we do not have those sets. Best is as you're opening the tap, you start washing your hands, and then you can even pour enough water on that tap as you're washing your hands. Then when you are done with the washing of hands, you use your elbow to turn on to lock the tap.
Yes, use your, especially the ones that have, there's this one you wind, not the one that you
use
turn.
your elbow.
Yes, it's easier for the one you wind, but the one you turn, you can't actually do that. I think I'll take the one you said, that you pour water. Exactly what I do.
That's soapy water, you just keep
Yes,
pouring on it,
exactly.
and then you pour clean water on it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Now, okay, you have a follow-up question?
No. In commemoration to this day, the day is on the 5th of May, which is on Sunday. So, are there any campaign you're putting in place to enlighten people on how to keep a good hygiene, how to wash their hands? Is there a campaign that's going on or about to go on in commemoration of that day?
Okay, so as part of what we want to do for that day, apart from sensitizing people about the day and the importance of hand washing through the media, we are also planning to have a talk with healthcare workers, but not just only healthcare workers. We are planning to go to a primary healthcare center, one of the busiest that we have here in Asaba, on their busy day, where they also have mothers and their children that will also be prospective healthcare workers. So we are going to have a talk with them, a lot of demonstration, role play, so that they, these things are things that we know, but we just feel, that kind of thing.
Just
so
feel lazy about
exactly.
it.
So for healthcare workers, especially since they are in contact with the patients, and therefore our mothers, our fathers too, they are not also left behind. Everybody, we're going to talk to them about hand hygiene, hand washing, and if possible too, we should also, give them hand sanitizers so that they can also, because most of the time they always complain, and we don't have. So we'll just use the opportunity to also make it available to them and hope for the best.
Now, in washing your hands, do you just wash with a soap rinse off, or do you have a particular time that you should wash your hand, like for a minute or for 30 seconds?
Okay, so when you wash your hand with soap and running water, you're supposed to wash it for about 40 to 60 seconds.
40 to 60.
Yes, 40 to 60 seconds. And we usually say,
How do you count?
so
Because
you
might not be
sing,
looking at your
so I
watch.
always tell you to sing happy birthday 2 times.
Sing
Happy birthday to
2 times.
you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy
African
birthday
man, who has
to
the
you.
African?
Yeah, you start again, happy birthday to you. So by the time you say
You can just hold
2
it.
times, you can hold it,
Only you.
By the time you've done that 2 times, know that you have washed for the accurate number. So you can see that this
Even
doesn't
while you are,
suffice.
if you haven't sung happy birthday song twice and you still have foams,
Okay, then you know
keep
that
rinsing.
your
You keep
you
rinsing.
have
Maybe
met
you've poured the soap, perhaps, that's why you have that soapy. Okay.
and you're still rinsing. At least that guides you. You know that at least you have washed
Just
for
wait
the
to
accurate
remove
number of times.
the salt from your hand now that is left.
Exactly. You just
Okay.
rinse and you're good to go. So that
Okay. Is it okay to wash your hands with salt?
with salt.
But some people say, well, when you wash
Yeah.
with salt, it's okay. It's as good as using soap.
Yes.
So we know that salt actually has some effect on microorganisms. Yes. So, but I won't advocate for it because I don't want the price of
Okay.
salt to increase in the market.
Oh, okay.
You know, when there's a high demand for something. Remember remember that period of Ebola, people were buying, I think, cola nuts. Everything increased. So, yeah, so
skyrocketed.
so I mean, we have soap. Let's use liquid soap.
Simple
Actually,
ones.
yes. And if you're using liquid soap, don't go and start diluting. So some will remove half and put
pour
water.
water.
No,
Yes.
please.
But then you'd have reduced the
And you're adding microorganisms into the soap that you're even using to wash your hands. So the
How?
Where
liquid
you're
soap,
adding clean
Water.
water.
When you're adding clean water, you're
how
adding
clean is the water?
from the tap.
From the tap that you're using, you're adding to the soap
Yes.
container, and you're allowing it to stay. With time, the microorganisms inside that can multiply.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So the way they bought the soap,
Use it
Just
now.
leave it like that.
way. Don't
Leave
add
it,
water
you're
into
guilty.
it. Don't add.
Why do people even add the water? Is it to increase?
Yes,
to
you know, they want
prolong
it to
the-
last.
prolong
Yes.
the okay.
You want it to last so that when you buy one container, you buy the next one next year.
And sometimes
Does
it's
that
really
have the
too
same
foamy.
effect? Oh, yeah.
It's
You
too
want to
foamy,
reduce
so you
that.
just want to reduce the
Just apply
foamy
little.
stuff. Okay,
Mm,
just
that's likely to exactly.
Yes.
Then where
Okay.
you don't have liquid soap, you can
Yes.
do
Use
with
bar.
yes, bar soap.
Okay.
You're getting soap. You can do with that where you can one cannot afford liquid soap. So members of the public would not think it's only liquid soap that
That
Okay.
you use, yes.
What about this manufactured, some persons
Yes, manufacturing. So it's even very affordable.
Affordable,
Yes,
yeah.
you
Okay,
can
that
use
one is
That
okay.
one can suffice,
Okay.
exactly.
So apart from this day now, we know that the 5th of May is set aside for the hand washing day, hygiene and hand washing day. If not for this day, other days, do you go around telling people, like go to schools, hospitals, health centers, to inform people or educate people how important it is to wash their hands, not just
Properly.
waiting for the day of the celebration?
Yes, so part of what we do in the Ministry of Health, we have, especially when we have other day celebrations, we usually use the opportunity to also talk about hand hygiene.
Okay.
And also when we have outbreaks, we usually go into the community to talk to them. And one of the ways you can control outbreaks is through breaking the chain of transmission, and hand hygiene is actually one of them. So anytime we go out to talk, whether it's the outbreak of Lassa, in short, hand hygiene is number
It's
one.
part of it.
Exactly. When we go to talk about outbreak of measles, we talk about the importance of hand washing, especially among the
Can never be
mothers, yes,
overemphasized.
the community. We always do that.
Okay.
And this day is just to create a more broader awareness. And we also have 15th of October. That one is also Global Hand Washing Day. But we don't usually wait for just those 2 days. We are always using every opportunity to talk about. Recently, we just finished a training where we trained over 400 healthcare workers on still importance of hand hygiene, hand washing. I'm hoping that as they go back, they also talk to their people in the hospitals and in the communities too.
Okay, from Dr. Etienne, Etienne, say your last word on this issue of hand washing
Yeah,
and the
advice.
celebration.
Okay, so what I want everybody to take home is that hand hygiene, that's the practice of hand washing. In short, hand washing is the basic, most important thing that can keep us healthy, that can prevent us from having all forms of illnesses. So we should take it as our lives. We should take it as part of us and try and ensure that we practice it at home, wherever we find ourselves. We should practice hand washing.
All right, thank you
Thank you
very,
so much.
very much, ladies, for being here. Of course, we had a representative of the WHO World Health Organization and the person of Dr. Etienne Omwete. Thank you for coming. And of course, Dr. Eni Dutain. Thank you very much for coming to enlighten us on matters concerning hand washing. And you out there, I'm
Yes.
sure you have been enlightened on the need for you to wash your hands properly. And of course, all times.
Yes.
So don't just go about
Before you sign them
Yes.
off, I want them to show us
Okay,
how
yes,
to wash
exactly. We're going
how to wash their hands.
Wash
So
your
we
hands.
came prepared. We have our hand sanitizer.
Ah,
So under 2 minutes, I'll be
beautiful.
very fast, but it's not that fast. Remember,
Okay.
when you're washing under running water, 40 to 60 seconds, but we have sanitizer 20 to 30 seconds. So the first thing you do, you have to remove all the jewelries on your hands. So I'll be very fast.
So we say their jewelry is water resistant.
No, you can have buttons. I
can
will
have
not want you to
buttons.
have anything. So I'm
Okay.
removing everything.
Okay.
My ring is off.
Okay.
So my hand is ready to. So I just apply. So see,
But can you get the camera closer?
front to front, and you're applying pressure because you must apply some form of pressure to remove the microorganisms from the hand. So palm to palm, then I'm doing this. Remember we said these spaces are
Between
usually
the
missed. So the
fingers.
same thing I do to this hand, I'm doing to this hand. Then after that, what do? I now
Can we
lock.
have a close shot of this? Zoom into the hands. Let's see properly what she's doing.
So I'm targeting these knuckles, and the same
Okay.
thing too. I'm targeting these knuckles. Then the tip of my fingers. I know most of the time we fix nails, you know.
Yeah.
So this part will be a bit difficult, but this part is usually one of the parts that is usually missed. So this after this now. So what do I now do? I am now going for my thumb. Remember we said we always miss our thumb. So you do that, and then you come for your wrists. And then you know that you're good to go. You can now smile.
Yes, people who fix nails, how do they go about it?
It's be very difficult. You cannot appropriately wash your hands.
Remove
your nails,
do it
fix
to
nails.
wash your hand and you fix your nails back.
If we need to look under the microscope, what is under those nails? My beloved sister.
So that means that if you
Sis
fix
will
nails,
see.
you should not be found, or you shouldn't be cutting a swallow with your fixed nails because lots of the bacteria hidden there. You'll be swallowing things. They have said it. All right, thank you again for coming. We appreciate your presence here.
much.
People, we have more coming your way on Morning Ride. This has been the Thursday morning. Please go nowhere. Thank you so much for still staying there. On this segment, we are going to be enlightening you on an issue that people don't take seriously. They feel it's hardly happening around 10. Well, reports have actually came up that this issue is affecting lives and people are dying in some parts of the state. Well, what are we talking about? Well, you get to know shortly after I have introduced my guest. Well, I have here with me a doctor who is in charge of veterinary services in the Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Edmond Orioko. You're welcome to our studio. And of course, we still have a Dr. Enyi from Ministry of Health. Yes, we shall be talking about rabies outbreak and of course how to prevent and vaccination as far as rabies disease is concerned. Good to have you, Dr. Edmond Orioko, and of course, thank you for still hanging it, Dr. Enyi.
Thank you so much.
Let me come to you, Dr. Orioko. Tell us about rabies and the outbreak that we're seeing recently.
Rabies is a very fatal disease of warm-blooded animals that comes from wildlife to our own dog population. It is caused by a virus, the rhabdovirus, and it is spread through direct contact. Rabies kills almost 100% of the victim when it occurs. This virus, when it is transmitted from wildlife to our local dogs, they now start behaving anyhow, start biting other animals. The incubation period for rabies is 2 weeks, about 2 weeks to 3 weeks. That is the incubation period. When rabies occurs, when there is a bite by a rabid animal or saliva of a rabid dog coming in contact with open wounds, or saliva of a rabid animal coming into the mucous membranes of the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, then the infection will start. The virus will now multiply locally at the site of the bite or where it entered the body, to now spread to the central nervous system, which is the brain, to now further undergo multiplication there, then it will spread through the nerves to every part of the body, particularly the salivary gland. Animals that have rabies, they normally show it in two forms, either furious form or the dumb form. In the furious form, the dog that is quiet will become very harsh, and in the dumb form, the dog that is very harsh will become very quiet. So there is change in behavior in infected dogs when they contact rabies. You notice that the behavior of the dog has changed to start attacking people, or it will withdraw from people, whichever the case may be. Now, as soon as the infection starts, there are some signs that we see in the dogs. The dog will start drooling saliva. Salivation will increase, and the saliva is comparable to that of a young child that will stream from the mouth to the floor without breaking. So that's what we call drooling saliva. When that occurs, we begin to say that the animal probably has rabies. These signs are varied depending on where the bite occurs and the type of form of rabies that the animal will be showing. Particularly in dogs, you discover that the dog will be off feed. It will not be eating. It will stop drinking water. It will even be afraid of water. When you bring water, the dog will be afraid of water. It won't want to drink water because of the pain that will be involved in drinking the water. So, first, you can see that the tail of the dog is no more standing and waving like it normally will be doing. The tail will be under the legs, salivation, excitement, hyper-irritability. Then it will start biting people anyhow. We also observe that one of the noticeable signs of rabies is that the voice of the dog will change. The way it's barking will change. It will start howling. This change in the voice can give you a tip that something is happening, because everything will now amount to the change in the behavior of the dog. The dog will not be afraid of human beings anymore. It will be attacking shadows, attacking people, biting stones, biting wood.
Oh.
It could even break its teeth in the process. If such a dog breaks loose and runs into the street, it will be running about biting people until the disease will advance to the stage and overcome the dog. It will affect his breathing. It will be collapsing. Then finally, it will die. Now, rabies comes from the wild. Wildlife spreads the virus. Wildlife like foxes, bats, skunks, and those dog and cat family in the wild, they harbor
Dog
rabies
get in contact
and
with
they spread it. They don't show any signs of the disease. So they are, as it were, not affected by rabies virus. You asked a question just now. Our people do hunting with dogs. So when these dogs go into the wild, in the course of hunting, there could be a fight between the wildlife and dogs. Those dogs will now be beaten and they now come back to the town with rabies. Cats also spread rabies. So anytime there is a dog bite or a scratch of a dog, we advise that those people should seek medical help. For us to prevent rabies, we must vaccinate our dogs regularly. The disease is 100% preventable, though it is very, very fatal. Vaccination of dogs starts from 3 months of age. Then, when they get to 1 year, the vaccine is administered again. That way, we can prevent rabies.
All right. Wow, that's a very long one. Talking about rabies, vaccine, and how you can identify an animal that has rabies. Dr. Enye, he talked about wildlife being the cause, or the carrier rather, of rabies. Now, why are they not affected, but they can affect other animals, especially dogs? Why are they, the carrier, not being affected by that disease that affects dogs?
Well, I would say, you know, most of, not even only in rabies, we have a lot of diseases where we have people that are carriers. They are not showing symptoms. They are meanwhile they are carrying that disease, and they have the ability to transmit that infection. So it's not surprising that rabies is one of them, and wildlife, probably, you know, the way they are living in the wild, they are, will I call it,
They are already
more
wild.
stronger, you know, to incubate that disease, and then once they come in contact with the
The ones who
dogs
don't
in
have
the
us.
you know
The milder
the
ones.
domestic ones, the mild, they can easily transmit, and those ones will now easily start showing symptoms and all that. So it's not surprising. Most of other diseases too, we have carrier states where people they don't know that they have this disease.
And those wildlife, do they get killed by these diseases, or they carry it for life? They carry that normal, it's just normal.
They carry it so for life. They are not affected.
Not affected in any way.
But when they come in contact with the dogs, the cats, because cats too also transmit rabies too, and they will now, you know, process of maybe fight and all that, they get the virus. They now come to the house and now give humans that were on their own. On their own, and then, so that's why when it comes to prevention of rabies, it's collaboration between Ministry of Agri, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Health, because we all come together.
How does Ministry of Environment come in?
So you know, most of these dogs, most of them are stray dogs, like what you noticed in Delta State. Most of the cases of dog bites were stray dogs, and these stray dogs are usually attracted by refuse dump.
Apologies for that break. Please bear with us. All right, we're back. And before we went out, we were talking about the involvement of the Ministry of Environment in this matter.
Okay, so we're saying that most of these stray dogs are usually attracted to dump sites where people just indiscriminately dump refuse and all that. You see dogs trying to sniff through to see what they can, eat from. So because of that, when people pass, these stray dogs can, bite people, if they are having rabies and all that. So if Ministry of Environment, what their work is that they help to clear all these dump sites, clear and make sure that people don't indiscriminately throw refuse around that can attract these stray dogs, or even stray cats too, because these days nobody wants to own a cat. Everybody's accusing the cats of being witches in quotes. So they go to all these dump sites, try to eat and and all that. So Ministry of Environment helps to clear the environment and helps to ensure that the environment is clean. We don't have stray dogs, and they're also
What's the plan?
So, Ministry of Environment, they're also in charge of impounding stray dogs. Any dog that doesn't. So, Ministry of Environment are also in charge of impounding stray dogs. So, any dog that is moving around without an owner or having an irresponsible owner, because the owners will own the dogs and allow the dogs to go and fend for themselves. They won't put them under leash, within their compound and all that. So the Ministry of Environment is also in charge of impounding those dogs. And we know that these days, once they impound those dogs, people that are willing to buy and eat are just by the corner,
Oh, God.
waiting to buy and eat. So,
So in that process, people can also get affected when they
so if you boil and
Okay.
it's not a way of getting rabies actually. So probably maybe in the process of trying to, maybe you were fighting with the dog and the dog beats you, then you can get it. But if you boil, because even if we want to discourage it, we know that people won't even answer you. They will keep on cooking their 404
Yes,
and eating
404.
it. Yes, so they'll keep cooking their 404 and eating it. So well, all we are just saying is that we need to prevent rabies. If you are bitten or you are scratched,
So
or
apart
you-
from the bites, the scratch also.
scratch or lick self,
Saliva.
saliva,
can
What
be
is
a
it?
cause
Saliva.
rabies.
yes, please come
Okay, when
and
the
get
saliva touches your
touches you.
skin.
Open wound.
Okay,
wound.
open wound,
Yes,
just an open wound,
wound.
okay.
And you know this era of people not washing hands.
Yeah.
So then you go back home. After 3 months, you come down, you're barking like a dog. It's terrible. We've lost family men, family women that were very okay the week before. The very next week, they started showing symptoms. And once you start showing symptoms, it's very, very difficult, close to impossible that you will survive. Close to impossible. I mean, we're still giving room. There's a report of, I think, one person since
Time.
for like so many years that
Since
has
time.
survived. So it's close to impossible, so it's better to prevent.
Okay,
That is
so
best.
when a person is bitten by a dog that is infected or infected with rabies, what are the early signs, Dr. Edmond? What are the early signs this person will begin to notice?
On
The
his dog,
body
in his
changes.
dog.
Yeah,
His
what are the
dog.
early signs?
Okay, in the human being.
In the human, yes, the human being.
Okay. The early signs that one will really notice when a human being contacts rabies is that the person will start salivating. Excessive salivation.
That's how many days after the bite?
It takes like 3 months
Oh,
for
3.
the disease to occur in human beings, depending on the closeness of the bite to the brain. If somebody is beating on his legs, another person beating on the neck, the one that is beating on the neck will show the signs
faster.
of rabies faster because it's closer to the head. So it takes about 3 months for the disease to develop in human beings. The person will be excited, hyperexcitation. The person will be afraid of light. The person will be afraid of water. If you bring water, the person will tend to run away.
Oh,
From
even
that.
a human.
Yes, in humans, the person will be afraid of water. The person will be afraid of light. The person will be drooling saliva also in human beings. A lot of saliva will be coming from the person's mouth. Then there is incoordination because of the brain being affected. the person will not be coherent in his talk, in his speech. From there, some levels of paralysis will start coming in, especially when they have taken them to the hospital and all that. When people notice that their people are behaving somehow, they tend to rush to the hospital. That is why the hospitals normally report to us that this person is showing
Signs.
clinically compatible signs with rabies because of the encephalitis, inflammation of the brain, is showing signs of incoordination and all that. From there, we take it up, we go and check the person's compound, check the dog, then the whole process will now start. So, the signs of rabies could be varied also because of immunity level of the person. The immune system has a role to play. We've seen a situation where two people were bitten by a dog in the same family. One came down, the other one didn't show any sign. So quickly, we went into vaccination of that person that has not shown any sign. Early intervention is what saves lives in cases of rabies. That is why we're advocating that any case of dog bite, whether it's your own dog that is vaccinated, report to the nearest hospital, to the nearest health center, to the nearest DSNO or what have you. Once that report comes out, we are doing collaboration in rabies prevention and control in Delta State. So the 3 ministries that are involved in prevention and control of rabies will pick it up and be involved in it.
Now, mentioning a collaboration with other ministries, I'm actually interested in that area of the environment ministry being involved. You know, they really have to impound these dogs because now I'm beginning to get scared now that maybe if
You're walking on the road, and one dog will just jump out and call your
they
name.
really have to start getting these dogs off the streets, off the roads, and if the owners actually come looking for them, there should be a fine imposed on them for allowing their dogs roam on the streets because they are threats to life, so to say.
Exactly.
You know, Ministry of Environment controls wildlife.
Yes.
They are in charge of the zoos and all that. They control wildlife. If a wild animal is in a particular environment, once they know, they find a way to remove that animal from the system. So they have tremendous role to play.
So are you now saying that even the people also have a role to play, but if they notice that a dog or dogs are straying in the environment, they should report to the Ministry of Environment or to the Ministry of Health or Agriculture?
Yes, they should report to any of these ministries, whichever they can get access to quickly. Once the report gets to Ministry of Agriculture, we'll contact the closest veterinary office.
Around.
And they will move into action. We'll now inform health, inform environment.
Okay. So this bite now, can a person who has been bitten by a rabies dog and infected, can the person also infect a fellow human? Is it transmittable from human to human?
Yes. Let me say this. Rabies is a zoonotic disease. Zoonotic diseases are diseases that spread from animal to man and from man to animal. If somebody is infected by rabies and is showing signs of rabies and he does not report to the hospital early enough, at a point that person will start trying to bite people also.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yes, but
the
from what
infected
we,
human.
yes, but from what we have seen so far in Delta State, once the behavior of the people affected changes, they take them to the hospital. And in the hospital, they are sedated most times. Once they suspect rabies, they sedate the person. They restrain the person on the bed. So we have not really we've not heard of any case of human to human transmission. But it is very, very possible. Now, those who are taking care of their people who are infected by rabid dogs, who have rabies, for example, they drool a lot of saliva. A lot of saliva will be coming from their mouth. If that saliva enters an open wound of anybody around, or enters the mucous membrane of the eyes, nose, or mouth, it can lead to rabies. So it is very, very possible for it to spread. For us to say that rabies is a zoonotic disease, that means it spreads from human beings to other human beings also. But we have not seen it.
Okay. I know this is actually scary, but that's where we need to be careful. That's where we need to actually sit up and watch our environment. If you see some stray dogs, I do see dogs sometimes on the road just wheeling around, and I go to a corner because I don't want to hear stories that talk.
Let me just
Yes.
say, let me just say this. Let me say
Yes.
this. It is not only stray dogs
Okay.
that cause rabies. Most of the rabies cases that happened at Abo, where about 3 people died last year, those dogs were owned. The owners were attacked by their own dogs. One did some vaccination like 2 years before that time. It appears he did not follow it up yearly, and that disease came. So dog owners are at risk.
Yeah.
Not only the stray ones, dog owners are at risk. So they must do continuous vaccination,
Vaccination.
proper continuous vaccination. It is done yearly. I want to use this opportunity to thank our governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori, who in his magnanimity released funds last year for the prevention and control of rabies in Delta State. We have a lot of vaccines, the rabies vaccines for dogs in our clinics, veterinary clinics in most local government areas of the state. And we are giving that vaccine free. The governor instructed that the vaccine should be given free since there's an outbreak. We are trying to achieve 75% coverage, vaccination of all dogs. That way, we can stop rabies spread in the state. So, the vaccines are free, but we have noticed that people are not really coming out to vaccinate their dogs. Yes.
Despite
Particularly,
it being free.
yes.
Have you done enough publicity to that effect?
We have been doing that since last year. The various veterinary clinics that we have, they do sensitization. Even the DSNOs are helping us to go to churches, to go to markets with megaphones, with flyers, with handbills, spreading this news that people should come and vaccinate their dogs. Let me give you an example. In Abo, one young boy died of rabies. When the boy started showing signs, the mother brought the boy to Asaba, FMC. From there, we now knew that we had a case of rabies. As soon as that boy died, 12 people came out that they were also bitten by the same dog
In the same album.
in the same Abo. That means they knew that they were bitten by dogs and they kept quiet. If that boy had not died, although we're not praying for anybody to die of rabies, they wouldn't have
Of
come
course,
out.
the scare of that boy dying now, they're like, oh, so they don't die as well. They have to come
So
out
this awareness is there, but our people are nonchalant about it. Particularly dog owners. You are bitten by your own dog, you are scratched by your own dog, you just rub it off and say, well, I don't vaccinate the dog, nothing they happen. What that kind of attitude? That leads to death.
Okay, so at that point when your dog
Dog this
Should be
year,
done.
the following
Next
year,
year.
you should bring it again.
Yes.
Just like
every
that.
year.
Yes,
For
there are
dogs,
some people who are living in secured compounds. They feel that their dogs do not go out.
Yes.
Their dogs are always in the cage. They release it only at night to do security work. They are also at risk because we know that cats, wild cats,
Can jump
during their
in.
mating season,
Yes.
they come into the compound. They move on the
Fence.
fence.
Yes.
And once they know that a dog is in the compound, they will come down and go and slap the dog. You know, dogs, they like to be
Yeah,
slapped a lot.
like
Those,
play out. Like,
from that scratch, your
Okay,
dog,
from the-
Exactly.
yes,
Yes,
your dog can now get it.
This
We
is-
had a
this is
case.
becoming,
We had a case in
more
Efru.
eye-opening.
The man does not release his dog. The dog is always in the cage. Somehow, he started showing signs of rabies. Contacted our area office in Efru. They went there, kept the dog under observation. The dog died after about 8 days. We got hold of the head of the dog, sent it to our lab, and it was positive for rabies. So that kind of situation is what happened. You know, we know that bats also transmit rabies. They carry rabies virus. Once they live in colonies on top of trees and all that. Once they have the rabies virus in them, it will paralyze them. Then they will fall down. So when you start seeing bats on the ground, that's an early sign of rabies. And these bats on the ground can now attract cats and dogs that will want to go and eat them. If those bats are still alive, they cannot bite them and spread rabies. So it comes in various ways, but all from wildlife.
But if the bat is dead and the cat just goes to eat up the the bat, the cat will not contact
No,
rabies. It's
there
just
won't be any
biting.
problem. It's just
Or,
bite.
or the bat dies, the rabies dies. with
Once the animal is dead.
once
the transmission is by direct contact through a bite or a scratch.
Okay.
The
Oh,
virus
okay,
has
okay,
to enter
okay,
into
okay.
into the wound. From there to multiply and spread to the brain,
Okay.
and rabies
Yeah, yeah.
will now
Exactly.
start. So
Wow.
So at what
vaccination
age
is
as-
key.
Yeah, at what age is a dog supposed to be vaccinated?
Right now, the vaccines we have is for dogs 3 months and above. Once your dog is 3 months, he ought to take his first vaccination. Thereafter, it is repeated every 12 months.
Every
Okay.
12
Every
months.
12 months.
Yes,
That's
every
year.
year.
Every
Every
year.
year.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. After the first
After
3
the
months.
After
first
3
3
months,
months.
Then
every
every year
year.
is compulsory.
Yeah.
Okay.
People,
quite enlightening.
people beaten by dogs, they ought to follow some procedures.
Okay.
First things first, once your dog bites somebody, that place should be thoroughly washed with soap and water, running water. The place should be washed such that it will even be bleeding. Then the person will now go to the hospital to now take the proper treatment or make the proper complaint. That complaint will get to us, then we examine the dog, observe it under quarantine to see if it has rabies or not. But in the case of stray dogs, all stray dogs attacking human beings, once you are bitten by a stray dog, you must take the complete dose of the vaccination.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
once you're bitten by a stray dog now, how long are you supposed to be vaccinated?
For a stray dog, like he said, the first thing you must do, first aid before you even report, wash
Your
vigorously, yes. Wash that
the spot.
pot, yes, with soap and running water. Then when you come and report, we would start you immediately with the post-exposure prophylaxis, that's the vaccine. On day 0,
The first
then
day.
that's the first day report. Then after 3 days after day 3, 7, day 14, we'll now day. So that's 5 complete doses.
Okay.
And the issue with this vaccine is that when we started this campaign, the vaccines were less than 6,000, but now it's almost double the price.
12,000.
So my colleague was thanking the governor. We're also putting our mouth to also thank him.
For
We're
making
putting
it
our mouth to
free.
thank him. He has provided for indigent Deltans, those that can't afford. Some people can definitely afford it, but those that can't afford, once they make a report, the vaccines are provided for them because he doesn't want any Deltans to die.
Okay. Thank you
you.
so much.
Quite
Yes.
enlightening, you
Yeah,
know.
very.
Especially on the area of Ministry of Environment being involved. And I also want to join you in appreciating the governor for making the vaccination free for indigent persons in the state. On that note, I want to say thank you very much, Dr. Edmond Orioko,
Thank you so
for
much.
coming here to
Thank
enlighten
you.
the people on issues concerning rabies and how they can prevent it, and of course the need to be vaccinated. And of course, I thank you, Dr. Ayin, from Ministry of Environment,
Health.
Ministry of Health.
Yeah.
Dr. Orioko is from Ministry of
Health.
Agriculture. He's the Director,
Veterinary services.
Veterinary Services, Ministry of Agriculture. All right, we have more coming your way as we wrap up the ride this beautiful Thursday morning. Good night. I told you we're about wrapping up, but we have an important segment to wrap up with. And we have with us here Dr. Uke Idawene, convener, Integrity Group. And of course, the Integrity Group, they are the ambassadors of the More Agenda of His Excellency, Right Honorable Sheriff Francis Oropedo Oborewori, and the You Matter Charity Foundation of Her Excellency, Dickness Toberi Oborewori. Chairman sitting on me, on a double chair, you know. Good to have you. You look like a king on that scene. You know.
Yeah, I'm royalty as well.
Royalty as
So,
well.
good morning to DBS crew. Good morning to the governor of the state. Good morning to the world.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for being
Yeah.
here.
Today is May
Pleasure is
2nd.
all mine.
This is the month of May, and this is a very special month as far as Delta State and governance is concerned. Countdown to May 29. I said we have to bring you here as the chairman of a group that are ambassadors of the More Agenda of His Excellency, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori.
Yeah.
So,
The Matter Charity Foundation.
yeah,
Believe in
so
that.
we are clocking 1 year.
Yeah.
How has it been? As ambassador, what have you been doing? And how has the governor fared? What are we expecting as far as this 1 year anniversary celebration is concerned?
Okay. You said it's a special month. It is. It's my birth month.
You mean
And 30th is the key.
just a day after the
Okay.
Yeah,
anniversary?
day after,
celebration then.
after anniversary. That's
Wow.
one. Then two, I'm super excited because it's marking 1 year of the More Agenda. The More Charity Foundation is yet to be a year because it was launched
After
a few
the
months
inauguration.
after the inauguration. Now, talking about how has it been, what have we been doing, we have succeeded, we have done 1 year with the governor in office, succeeded in propagating the More Agenda, all his activities to 25 AGAs with administrators there working. We've been able to unveil notable Deltans as patrons, patronesses. We have people like Mommy Okwofu, Momo Government as a mother of the group. We have people like most distinguished Senator Ned Woko, who is also a patron. We have Deputy Speaker. We have Begbaje. The list is long for Bruketa. Just name it and more.
Are you still going on?
More, yes,
Okay,
yes.
go on.
The target is to have 50 patrons or patronesses, 2 per AG, making it 50. So that when we call a meeting and say we are going out for an occasion or support the governors who are doing, then it has more capacity for us to work on. So that's that. Then for governance, you can see the edifice behind you here. The State High Court is a New York
Yeah.
like structure that is right there. Is in my status. I'm excited about it. If you go to Julius Berger site at Usubi, you will see that the Berger they usually they don't do the construction there. They go to their site and they cast it and take it there to screw it. So Deltas and Nigerians should be ready for a Delta like never before. And if you look at the 5.6 billion area speed, the workers were excited yesterday. I drove past and I saw them jubilating all over the place for the area speed. Is it about the local government teachers or workers that 40 billion was provided for? Is it just naming? Is it the teachers that were employed? Is it the roads being constructed that will be commissioned this month from Ugeli to Warri to part of Delta and all over? So like I said, by the time I told some people of the APC, I will mention party name, that keep attacking the governor on social media, they should verify their information before they do so, because the man is working and he's not a noise maker. And that was why we said Integrity Group is to propagate what he's doing to the world to see. And thank God, I told them they will be put to shame by the time Integrity Group come up on the 20th of this month for a world press conference to tell them what the governor has done. I will keep some information to my chest until the day the channels of the world, the Arise TV, DBS, will be there when we will tell the world this is what Governor Oborewori has done. And everybody will resort, will always silence the opposition. And that's what we're looking at. They'll be shocked.
All right. So you have actually said a lot, and within the speaking on the More Agenda, how would you rate his success so far? Would you say it was actually speedy, or it was dragging?
it has been speedy. A man who has done 2 tenures, 6 years as speaker, knows his onions when it comes to leadership. So when he came on board, he assembled a team of old, middle age, and young age together to have an optimum race on the issue of Delta State governance. So at that particular time, he hit the ground running. And like I said again, even when they distracted him, because during that Okwama issue,
Yes.
you saw that people thought that it was all over for us. We came up to say Okwama shall rise again. Now Okwama is rising already. So a leader sees 3 Bs. He sees before, he sees a bigger picture, and he sees a better picture. So when they were making those noise, people came up to say, look, security breach can happen anywhere in the world. What we need to do is attend to it immediately, do damage control, and move from where we were. And now I want to appreciate the 3 senators from Delta State at this juncture for working in synergy with the governor for the release of the king, because the governor did the upper one, then the 3 senators did the other one at the release from the chief of defense staff. And I want to say here that the governor ran the race. He has not slowed down one day. If you are close to him, even to eat is a challenge. If you are close to him, walk. And what he's saying that this 1 year is to tell Deltas what I mean. Everybody, we're working, people think Delta State money is safe hands and is prudently managing them.
Okay.
No leakages.
All right. We know that a few days ago, that was on Wednesday, he inaugurated some members of some persons into special advisors positions, and also political appointees. We know that one of your patron rather was among the appointees. So would you say those persons appointed as special advisors, it was well deserved?
Wow. Governor Oborevwori is a visionary leader. For him to have picked that team, then the icing on the cake was making Sir Eddie Ogidigbegbadje as the chairman, Bureau of Pensions, Delta State. That man is a square peg, a square hole. And that thing alone, just go, I want to give DBS an assignment this morning. Just go to the streets a little, pick Delta Central one time, Delta North one time, Delta South one time, and ask how is Ogidigbegbadje in terms of executing official assignment. The pensioner, they are even calling us that at last they will breathe a sigh of relief when it comes to pensions. And the governor has said that we're not going to owe pensions. And Ogidigbegbadje is a quintessential retired civil servant who retired as one of the finest as PS government has, and is now to attend to our old people who has done their bid in Delta. That team is a consolidation of what the governor has been doing in Delta State. And like I said, watch out for what will happen in the next 1 year after unveiling what he has done for these past 12 months.
Fine, in being ambassadors of the more agenda of His Excellency, have you had challenges? And of course, what is the way forward?
Yeah, the challenge we are having is resources to do more for what we are doing. But we know we are trying our best to get our resources to work. Now, let me say it again. Nobody is sponsoring Integrity Group. We are all coming together. And when you see loyalty that has no financial support, fear it. But has no financial support, fear it. Now, another thing is, it's been beautiful. Every VIP now, majority of the leaders in Delta want to identify with the group, because it has come to be that this is the face of this government. We defend the policies. When they need advice, we advise them. When they need correction, we correct them behind and say, okay, go right, go left, or stay in the center. And at the end of the day, you see that the Human Charity Foundation also is coming up. We are going to kickstart its activities more as well to make sure that they are at par, so that we will not leave one aside. Because for long now, more agenda. We want to bring in more Human Charity Foundation also around the race. But the beautiful thing is that as I speak with you, people are jostling to be unveiled now as patrons and patronesses. We are the ones saying we'll give you time.
down.
We'll give you time. We'll give you time. So it's been nice, and it's one of the best parts we have enjoyed in Delta Police like never before. And watch out for more to come.
Yeah, watch out for more to come. Now, when you are saying for more to come, is it from Integrity Group or from governance?
When His Excellency appreciated the group last weekend, he said, "Thank you for the support." I told him, "Oga, our best is yet to come." And when you tell someone working, "Thank you," it's a pat at the back to run more speed with it. So watch out more from Integrity Group and the more from the more agenda governor, because you have a Delta like never before. Oborowori, the Ukodo of Africa, is working, and everybody will partake in that Ukodo.
Now, the Integrity Group is actually giving a whole lot of support to the government of His Excellency, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborowori. Now, what message you have for other persons in the state, both Deltans and non-Deltans alike?
What my message is simple. Governorship is turn by turn. Leadership is from God. To every Delta political gladiator, I plead in the name of God this morning, leave your differences and support the governor to lead us and succeed more than expected. You outside Delta, pray for us. Delta will be the Texas of Nigeria. That is my plea. Every Delta, go ahead and support the more agenda government, and will rejoice at the end.
Yes, so go ahead and support the more agenda of the government or of His Excellency, and we'll rejoice at the end. I'm actually very excited because there's a whole lot of celebration coming up. I mean, the Integrity Group will be launching officially.
We're launching a bulletin
Yes.
on 22nd at Unity Hall,
Yes.
a government house, Asaba. We're having a world press conference on the 20th, the same year in Asaba. Venue to be decided. So these are the things we're having. Then in between, we'll pay a courtesy call to the commander, 63 Brigade, appreciating the army. We'll pay a visit to CCP. We're going to give an award to the IG of police for having a program to appreciate, to celebrate best police in different departments in Nigeria. That's the first of its kind.
And I'm also aware of your partnership with DSEC.
Yeah, DSEC, we're going to support DSEC,
Yes.
partnering them in the local government election. And DSEC has done well for rebuting that fake publication
yes, of
coming
the
up,
dates.
and they just did correctly. We're going to affirm our support to DSEC from now, pre-election, during election, and post-election, because DSEC means business as well.
All right.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
And
Indeed.
I think that's how far we can go. Time is fast spent.
You can add 30 minutes more if you want to. We
Yeah,
are going to analyze more, but time is of essence.
Yeah, we'll be back here to talk some more.
Of course.
You know, the 10 o'clock news is on standby, so we have to actually get out of the set so that they can come prepare the set for the news at 10. On that note, I want to say thank you so much for coming here, Dr. Soker.
God bless
Thank
you.
you people
Thank
for
you.
being with us on the ride from inception till now, from Lilibet.
Okay, from me, I would say let's love lead.
Bye. Have
Queen
a
of the
wonderful,
airways.
day.
Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.
Bye.